Welcome back into the NARCh Media Center here at the 2015 West Coast Finals. Jeremy Ellis joined now by David Puckett of the NCR Tour Elite. Has a few teams out here this week playing as well. And David, tell us a little bit about your program. Longtime NARCh supporters coming from Northern California, making the trip down here this year. How long have you guys been around and how many teams do you have under the umbrella?
We've been around for about 5 years, and we have 4 teams this season, from squirt to midget.
So, based on where you guys are right now, what's the history of the program and how you guys got started up in San Jose area?
Basically, you had a group of friends all coaching under one organization, and then we broke away and did our own thing pretty much. Overnight, we pretty much just made a Facebook page and made a club out of it, and that's what it's been ever since.
Now, when you guys broke away from that other organization, was it easy to kind of get kids to come over to the program, or did you guys go out and get new faces into the sport, or how did that kind of work for you?
It was with the core group that we had at the time. It was Travis and at the time Blake was coaching these kids, and they pretty much just came over with the coaching, and then I joined as well. And we've gone through a couple coaching staff changes and stuff like that.
So you mentioned Travis and Blake. Tell us a little bit about those guys. They're kind of all together in the triumvirate of what you guys do together with the program.
Basically, Travis and Blake, or Travis is basically the start of all of it. NCR would be what his travel program used to be, the NorCal Riot, and then the Elite is the kids, and we combine the names. We pretty much have our old guys with our youth, and together we're one community.
So tell me a little bit about your background here in NARCh. You mentioned that you guys started the program about 5 years ago. How long has the relationship been with you personally with NARCh, and how far back do you go?
Me personally, my first NARCh was the very first NARCh in San Jose, I think in 2008.
Okay.
And I didn't play travel as a youth. I just played through my recreational leagues and high school leagues, and it wasn't until I started working at the hockey rink up in San Jose that I started playing more competitively.
So looking back on your NARCh experiences, are there some highs and lows that you can easily recall during the course of finals or regionals?
Yeah, I mean, in San Jose, my team won men's gold, so that's a big one. And definitely coaching as well. We have a lot of wins under the belt the last couple of years, and trying to keep that going on with having new kids in the organization now.
Now, how are you doing as far as recruiting new kids into the organization? Where do you see the future of the sport going, and how does the involvement of them with NARCh kind of keep that pipeline, creating new players?
Well, with this season, we actually have a lot of new kids from other organizations that never played NARCh before. So it was big for them that they never even experienced anything like this, and it's going to be even bigger for them when they go to Florida and experience that. And then, sorry.
Well, you talk about going to Florida. So, new thing this year with the West Coast and the East Coast finals. Obviously, cost prohibitive for a lot of teams to make those long trips. So, trying to make it a little bit more regionalized. But you guys are one of the programs that's going to both East Coast and West Coast finals. Tell us a little bit about how that came about and how your teams are looking forward to it.
Well, we've always been strong supporters of NARCh, so we pretty much travel where the talent is, and we know that NARCh has a lot of the talent that we look forward to play against. And we want to be ranked up amongst that type of talent.
So when it comes to the different coasts, do you guys have a preference of where you guys play, the competition, or how does that differ between the two coasts?
For us, it's going to be different because we've seen a lot of these teams in California already. We played a lot of them already. But back east, I know we're going to be, the one team from our region of Northern California going. I don't think anyone's going. Maybe they'll have teams from Southern California, but we're going to see a different style of hockey. Especially it's different in East Coast hockey and West Coast hockey. So.
Let's talk a little bit about just here in California with the Northern California teams and Southern California. How do those styles kind of differ from different places?
Oh, definitely. We know that there's a lot of discipline in Southern California. We see a lot of disciplined hockey, and we don't try to be like that because we try to be ourselves. But we know that this is what we have to play against. This is what we have to measure ourselves against. And we try to do that early on in the season, early on December before we even see anybody for an NARCh regional or something.
Now, let's talk about one last thing here. You are playing as well in the event, correct? So it's got to be tough, coaching for such a long period of time and really wanting to lace up the skates. So how anxious are you to get out there and lace up and compete here in the men's division?
I'm pretty excited. It's always fun to play, and for me, it's actually funny because I'm not as competitive as some of the other guys. So I'm actually looking forward to having a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun at these events, but then again, it's a lot of fun to just go out there and play with your friends and play some good hockey.
So I think you guys have a little bit different roster makeup for this year's event, correct?
Yeah, usually we bring in our own NCR Tour Elite men's team, but this year we're playing with AOP Shaved Ice from Hawaii, and it's 4 guys from the Elite and 4 guys from the AOP.
All right, well, we'll look forward to watching you out there skating around as well as coaching throughout the tournament. So David Puckett of the NCR Tour Elite, big NARCh supporters, and him and his team's having a great time at the 2015 NARCh West Coast Finals. David, thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, Jeremy Ellis here from the NARCh Media Center.